Got a video of me and Matane De La Hoya. There we go.
Wait, play that one more time for us.
Who that, Rolly?
Rolly Romero responded to Oscar De La Hoya's social media statement after recuperating completely from his defeat by Isaac Cruz.
Down Romero again, launches the right hand, left hook, Romero takes the shot, still standing!
The golden boy of boxing and Rolly Romero haven't had a cordial relationship lately, and things are only going to become hotter with Romero's most recent Oscar run. Now, let's get started. A lot had been going on before Rolly Romero and Isaac Cruz's fight, which happened on March 30, 2024 at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, United States. In that fight, Mexican fighter Isaac "Pitbulls" Cruz defeated Romero by technical knockout in 8 rounds. Following the match's success and Rolly Romero's defeat at the hands of Isaac Cruz, the drama hasn't seemed to be going away anytime soon. Indeed, it appears that the long-running feud between Romero and promoter Oscar De La Hoya, a former professional boxer, is about to reach its zenith. Oscar De La Hoya and Rolly Romero have been trading barbs back and forth for a while now. In their most recent exchange, De La Hoya accused Romero of being a shame and a humiliation after De La Hoya's defeat to Isaac Cruz the previous weekend. Oscar De La Hoya didn't hold back following the Romero vs. Cruz match. In a video that is currently circulating on social media, he is seen laughing and making fun of Romero. Bernard Hopkins may also be seen in the video reacting similarly, and it was most likely recorded at the Cruz vs. Romero arena. On EX, the video included captions. In a video insulting Romero, De La Hoya said, "Don't talk rubbish about promoters, there's only 3 of us in the world. Chihuahua beat you with laughing emojis in between rise you dumb boy getting knocked out, focus on your opponents instead of focusing on me."
Rollies, you dumbass, getting knocked out. Focus on your opponents instead of focusing on me. God damn it. All other fighters, learn from Rollies. Don't talk shit about promoters. There's only 3 of us in the world.
Romero's constant teasing and banter doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon, as De La Hoya publicly stated that he was only getting started and that he would keep putting Romero's loss on his face. "I'm only now beginning." De La Hoya shared content on the social networking network X. Naturally, Oscar De La Hoya and Rolly Romero's animosity did not begin with the Romero-Cruz fight. According to reports, it began when Ryan Garcia chose to fight Romero instead of Devin Haney, for whom De La Hoya had personally endorsed him.
The only fight I care about right now is Ryan Garcia. And then the winner between that and me and Ryan gets Gervonta Davis. We're going to do this all on pay-per-view, on Showtime pay-per-view. We're going to do this shit, all right? Like I said, at the end of it, I got the belt. I make the shots.
Romero did, however, financially withdraw from the match, as Gar followed through on his last statement from that video by taking the initiative and selecting who he wants to fight and who he does not. Everyone was shocked by Romero's choice to fight Cruz instead of Garcia, even Ryan Garcia's camp, and Garcia himself did not disguise his disappointment. In a long but forceful post on X, Garcia claimed that he had been told a falsehood that the confrontation between him and Romero was over. "Look, I was told that the agreement was coming together and would be made public in the next several days. That was obviously a falsehood. The past several weeks have been trying for my patience. I'm doing my best to be as genuine and honest with you guys as I can. I am excited to announce my upcoming bout. I will hold off on speaking until it is signed and delivered. I still want to stage a major pay-per-view event for Dazens Boxing." He wrote, "Have a blessed day." Later on, Rolly Romero came out to defend his choice to take on Isaac "Pitbulls" Cruz instead of Ryan Garcia, claiming that Garcia's team had spent too much time. In addition, he was very direct, placing most of the blame on Oscar De La Hoya, whom he called a chronic liar. "Who cares? Ryan didn't even offer me a better deal, so it's not even about the money." Romero responded, "No, he could go waste his time somewhere else. Nah, he wasted too much time with us, and yeah, I mean, I think Oscar is to blame. when asked if he would still be interested in facing Ryan Garcia in the future. Oscar lies all the time. You are aware that he lies on all fronts. Ryan also tells lies about everything. He tells many lies. Ryan has called individuals out how many times without getting caught. He constantly criticizes others without taking action. I don't want to talk about Ryan, like I stated. Here on Amazon Prime, we are. In response to Romero's allegations, we have 200 million users, and as I mentioned earlier, this is going to be the largest boxing platform in boxing history. Romero doesn't have a chance against De La Hoya in the boxing ring, the boxing legend said, adding that he was given a deal that might have brought him the most money of his life. The fight is not against me, man, so calm down. I'm trying to get you the most money that I can, but you're battling for pennies on the dollar on a platform that you've never used, so how do you know it's better than ours when you're fighting for nothing? I honestly adore Rolly because he's a hilarious child, a character, and I believe that he's a kind kid at heart. However, you don't treat him disrespectfully because, well, everything is oh, you're not battling with me. You're not battling me, you know, so just keep your cool. I mean, if we had battled, I could have easily knocked you out.
I think, look, I actually love the kid. Rolly's he's a character. He's funny. He's genuinely funny, and I think deep down inside he's a nice kid, but you don't disrespect. You know, like I mean, there's no need for it. You know, it's all good. You're not fighting me. I mean, if I would have fought you, I would have knocked your ass out easy. But you're not fighting me, you know, so just keep it cool. It's definitely going to be Pitbull who, absolutely, he's going to probably knock him out. Yeah, absolutely. I love the kid. He's like funny as hell. But I think there's something off with him.
It would have been the biggest money he would have ever made, I promise. Since then, De La Hoya, who represents Garcia, has come out as quite sour. In a recent video, he was even seen mimicking Romero's fighting technique while hyping up Isaac Cruz as a legitimate fighter who was going to knock out Romero. The reason for the present back and forth between the two sides is that Rolly Romero's choice has plainly upset De La Hoya and the rest of Ryan Garcia's group. Not only did he exaggerate about Isaac Cruz, who was then a potential opponent, in the aforementioned video, but he also subtly painted Romero as the lesser fighter who is constantly going to be on the defensive. Romero continues to be an excellent boxer with an exceptional record, despite what De La Hoya might like the casual viewers to believe based on that footage. Before the battle against Isaac Cruz, he had only lost once in his professional career, making this his second loss in 17 fights. Romero has only 2 losses and 15 victories overall, 13 of which came via knockout. In his own retaliatory response, Romero had called the promoter a drug addict and made fun of him. It's not that hard to be a cult. I have a video of myself with Martin De La Hoya. Oscar uses cocaine. When asked about the footage of Oscar De La Hoya mimicking his fighting technique, Romero responded by pulling out his phone and displaying a video in which he mentioned De La Hoya using cocaine. Oscar De La Hoya, the former boxing champion, has admitted multiple times to having a drug addiction. Therefore, it is a well-established truth that he once struggled with addiction. In a television interview approximately 13 years ago, De La Hoya said that he was in rehab because of his heavy drug and alcohol use and that he had considered suicide. In an interview from way back in 2011, De La Hoya stated, "Rock bottom," as it was translated from Spanish. In a few years, addiction will be my toughest battle of my life. All I wanted to know was my life really worth living? I lacked the necessary strength. I lacked the bravery to end my own life. However, I was considering it in light of the statement made by the former professional boxer who was known as the Golden Boy in his time. At that time, he had been unfaithful to his wife, and his drug addiction was on the edge of ending their marriage. Obviously, we're not talking about Tiger Woods here, but he says, "I was unfaithful." Years before he won an Olympic gold medal at the 1992 Barcelona Games, a promise he had made to his mother. De La Hoya suffered the tragic loss of his mother, who passed away from breast cancer in 1992. He began boxing at the age of 5 and later turned pro, following in the footsteps of his father and grandfather. He had revealed in his addiction narrative that his favorite drugs, cocaine and alcohol, made him feel safe and placed him in a position where he believed he could easily reach out and grab his late mother. I had only recently started using cocaine the previous 2.5 years, and I was more dependent on booze than cocaine. De La Hoya's opening up transported me to a secure place. It transported me to a place where I thought no one could possibly understand me. I was able to simply reach out and grab my mother there. Even after coming clean about his addiction issues in 2011, De La Hoya's problems didn't end there. 2 years later, he had to check himself into rehab once more. It's like, yeah, I'll go and get that heat off my back when it happens the first time. Even though you know that everything will be all right in a few days, weeks, or whatever amount of time, you still choose not to do it. You know, you don't act on this knowledge of your need for assistance. You're aware that you do it because other people desire it for you. That is simply not how it operates. I simply refused to acknowledge that I had an issue. I was unable to accept it. De La Hoya claimed that since he was skilled at deceit and manipulation, he was able to maintain a false impression in the eyes of his friends, family, and the public, but that his life was a gigantic deception and that it was very tiring for him. All I had in my life was a falsehood. I had the ability to deceive, to control, and to conceal. One thing, I'll tell you, it was really tiresome. Doing all that was simply so exhausting. Upon further reflection, he goes on because I need to joggle this image at this point. Even though I knew it wasn't true and that it was tiresome, I chose to keep everyone in the dark about how I was really feeling. The golden boy was the ideal husband and parent, and he was this that wow. I simply knew how to cover up any emotions I could be experiencing. I could even tell myself lies. I'd tell myself, no, this is correct. It's a monster this. I'm dealing with a freaking monster, but it's all right. It's all right since, as you are aware, each morning is a fresh start because I get to reset that button once I go to sleep. De La Hoya claims to have had his first taste of alcohol at the age of 8, and he began drinking at the age of 13. He also claimed to have learned how to hide his drinking from his family and parents. Oscar De La Hoya was a seasoned combatant in his day, having spent 16 years capturing 11 world titles in 6 different weight divisions. After competing at the highest level of boxing against the best, including Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, he retired to become a well-known promoter and founded Golden Boy Promotions, which represents athletes like Ryan Garcia and Canelo Alvarez. After overcoming addiction, De La Hoya has subsequently returned to leading a normal life. Romero's use of his well-documented troubles as a source of mockery illustrates the depths to which both men have gone in their rivalry. Romero is not the only person to make fun of De La Hoya for his addiction issues, though. 4 years ago, when it was speculated that the promoter intended to make a decisive comeback to boxing, UFC President Dana White took a subtle jab at the fighter. Cocaine is an expensive drug. You must generate income. When questioned about De La Hoya's possible comeback to boxing, White responded. Dana White's remarks followed those of De La Hoya, who declared that he was going back to the ring since the current generation of boxers is only in the sport for financial gain and will not put in the necessary training or effort. All these fighters are not of the level that was 15 or 20 years ago, declared the Golden Boy. These fighters are all requesting enormous sums of money. These combatants are all clamoring for the moon, but they are forgetting that hard training is necessary. You have to put forth a lot of effort. I know what it takes to train hard, so that gives me a big advantage. I am skilled in smart training. In the ring, I know how to fight smart. These guys only care about their financial gain. That will be the main distinction. While these guys battle solely for financial gain, I will fight for honor. What do you think? Glory will prevail in the end. In the end, De La Hoya decided not to go back into the ring because he was more concerned with his promotion company. Ryan Garcia is one of the biggest names on his list, and he and Rolly Romero are currently at their lowest point of pettiness. Romero called De La Hoya a liar and a drug addict, and now De La Hoya is mocking and shaming him for only his second professional career loss. This is in response to a video that shows De La Hoya and Hopkins making fun of and laughing at Romero. The boxer's representative, Leonard Olby, was highly critical of his fellow promoters' behavior against his boxer, calling their actions in a post on social networking platform X classless. Well, Rolly is alright, but what would happen if he wasn't and something awful occurred? Two Hoff fighters and promoters acting in a classless manner, particularly right after a fight. Again, great work. Emo to Isaac Cruz and his group for a fantastic performance. After De La Hoya humiliated him, Rolly Romero also reacted and replied, "Oscar needs to mature, man. I can see that he's still hurting over my refusal to let him fight Ryan. He should concentrate on learning how to negotiate well." Rolly Romero lost his first defense of the WBA super lightweight title he had won a year earlier. He obviously didn't see it coming as he looked in a very confident mood before the match. "I'm very happy and humbled to win this title for my family and for the fight," Romero said when asked about De La Hoya's reaction to his loss, that it was a very difficult and tough match for Romero against Isaac Cruz. The Pitbull was on the ascendancy as he dropped Rolly with a right hook. Post-match, Isaac Cruz commented, "I was ready for this. Not only was I come to fight, but I was here to get rid of him. I spoke here in the ring, and I did so not only for myself, but for everyone present at T-Mobile Arena. For a very long time, there will be a Mexican champion at 140 pounds. My goal in fighting was to keep the judge from making the final verdict. The goal was achieved. I'm not simply here to fight dangerously. Cruz, I'll be prepared for anyone who is accessible because I now have a title supporting me." Romero went on to say that he was happy with the way the match had gone. However, he dismissed the idea that he had not performed well against his opponent that evening. "We fought hard for the fans, but regrettably, we were not successful. Pitbull Cruz and all of the attendees are to be commended for making this a fantastic occasion. I'll be back." Floyd Mayweather also gave Rolly Romero some motivation, giving him a pat on the back in a lengthy Instagram post shortly after the battle. Romero is signed to do Mayweather Promotions. "I am so proud of you for accomplishing the incredible achievement of becoming a two-time world champion in under 18 fights, with only 14 years of total fighting experience and without any prior amateur background. You will experience both wins and losses on this path we call life. That's the game, but everyone experiences defeats in life, even myself. So always keep in mind, don't allow it hold you down when someone tries to bring you down. Restart yourself, be loyal to yourself, and realize how far you've come." Mayweather shared writings on her blog. In an Instagram post on Monday, Romero also praised Isaac Cruz and thanked everyone who was a part of the match. "I'd like to congratulate Pitbull on winning a fantastic battle and realizing his goal of winning the world title. My team, Amazon Prime Premier Boxing Champions, and all of my sponsors are greatly appreciated." He said that the verbal sparring between Romero and Oscar De La Hoya goes on as he gets ready for a bounce back or return. Will this be where they finish it or fight?